So, word on the streets is that Meghan has told Harry, you got to get your butt out there and bring in some more moolah.
Meghan is deeply worried about their finances. Where is the cash flow? Nothing's coming in. Meghan's had enough. Harry's got to pull his weight. I don't think Charles could be seen to let Harry go bankrupt. He's going to go back to Dad for some cash. You nailed it. They thought this gravy train was going to carry on. Well, the gravy train has come off the rails. It's a gravy train wreck. So this money thing is serious, and this is one heck of a scoop.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Expresso. I'm JJ Anisiobi and I'm back with Mark Dolan. Mark, I haven't seen you since you went to that place, the Lucky Goats, and you smashed me at darts and shuffleboard.
Well, that's right. I enjoyed smashing you. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Not even a minute in.
I beg your pardon. Can we all please grow up? There's a lot of immaturity within the team.
Oh, gosh.
Well, listen, let me tell you that was an important bonding session where we laid out our journalistic ambitions for the Daily Expresso, which is about pursuing the truth.
That's right.
And calling out the hypocrisy of the rich and famous. Mm-hmm. And where better to start than Harry and Meghan?
Abso-freaking-lutely. So, word on the streets is that Meghan has told Harry, you got to get your butt out there and bring in some more moolah.
Most definitely. Now, Rob Shooter is an excellent royal journalist. He's got a Substack called Naughty But Nice, and he's got great contacts. And he's hearing that Meghan is deeply worried about their finances, that actually she's got a sense and understanding of money that Harry absolutely doesn't, because he's an aristocrat who's never had to worry about cash, never seen a bill in his life.
That's mad.
Okay, so that's why they've got a very different attitude. And Meghan's thinking, well, wait a minute, we've got some savings. You've got your inheritance, which is dwindling. There's the spare money, the Netflix cash, but it is disappearing and disappearing fast. And where is the cash flow? Nothing's coming in. And Rob Shooter, his insiders are saying that Meghan's had enough, that Harry's got to pull his weight because she's the one that's busy on Instagram posting stuff about Archie and Lily and the As Ever brand. She's trying to kind of keep it going, keep this show on the road. Yeah. She's the one that's up at 5 a.m. with those notorious emails to her staff from which she expects an instant reaction. She's the one that's trying to get something going with Netflix again, because although it's not a golden handcuffs deal like it was, she still has the ear of Netflix, and if the right project comes along, they'll make it. So she's doing all the running. And what Rob Shooter is hearing is that Harry thinks it's enough to do the charity work, that he's a philanthropist, that he's a global citizen. Well, JJ, being a global citizen, doesn't pay the mortgage.
Yeah, that's it.
And that Montecito mansion, $500,000 a year.
How is it costing $500,000 a year?
That's the mortgage, because they did not have the money when they bought the place.
They didn't just buy the place outright?
Yeah, they used some cash. They did. No, that's right. It wasn't a cash purchase. There's a big mortgage on it. Big mortgage. It's well reported $500,000 a year, which is a huge amount of money. And of course, what happened is when they bought that house, it looked like they could afford it because they were riding high. Because after Megxit, Harry was commanding $1 million per speaking engagement. Or Meghan's thinking, well, you do 10, 12 of those a year. We are laughing. Yeah. The first Netflix deal had come in. And then, of course, the book's bare. So, you know, what happened there is that they thought this gravy train was going to carry on. Well, the gravy train has come off the rails. It's a gravy train wreck. And it's having an impact on the marriage, which, as you and I have discussed, was always going to be a fault line. I think there are two big fault lines in the marriage. One is money. There's an old saying, when love goes out, when money goes out the door, love goes out the window, which is an age-old expression, I think is very true. If you talk to divorce lawyers, and also if you talk to like couple therapists, they'll always say that in half the cases, normally when couples break up, it's sex. It's not a problem you and I have, pleased to say.
He means he and I together, not
That's
without
exactly right, because we have an electric chemistry. So it's either carnal matters of the bedroom or it's cash. Those are normally the two things. So running out of money. If one of you becomes broke, well, the marriage is probably going to head south. And it's a very strong bond that can survive financial problems. Well, I think the fault lines for Harry and Meghan are money and how to raise the kids. And it's my understanding that Harry is furious about making Archie and Lily celebrities, and the most recent example of which is Meghan selling candles that smell like Archie.
What?
Make it make sense.
What's
She's
the
had
candle
this
called?
range with her As Ever brand, and one of them is in tribute to Archie with his birthday on the candle, and it's got a sort of gingery spice.
Gingery spice.
Sounds like a pop star, doesn't it? So that's that. And then, of course, she reveals that Lily's favourite jam is strawberry and Harry's is raspberry. God, who cares? And of course, it's not jam, it's spread, is it? But those are the two fault lines. Harry doesn't want that for his kids, but what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. So this money thing is serious, and this is one heck of a scoop from Rob Shooter, because it suggests that Meghan is exhausted, that she is doing the heavy lifting, that she's the breadwinner. And she's shocked about this because, of course, when she married Harry, she overestimated how rich he was, and she overestimated how important a royal he was going to be. When they tied the knot, they get Frogmore, which, as far as she was concerned, was basically a glorified shed. And she could not, it stuck in her craw that William and Catherine were treated as more important within the family and within the institution, because she didn't fully understand that, yeah, if you are going to eventually become king and queen, which William and Catherine are, it's going to be different straight away. And she hadn't expected that, and she didn't factor that in. That's why there are all these tensions. So, you know, it's going to be a big, big problem, and I don't know how they fix this. I mean, what is the point in saying to Harry, oh, it's time for you to turn into an entrepreneur? I mean, that is like asking a donkey to sprout wings and fly. It ain't going to happen.
I guess the big difference, as you've already said, is that Meghan did not grow up with money, so she appreciates it and she understands what it's like to then have poverty.
She's a hustler.
But Harry,
and she's a survivor.
But she understands
she's a shapeshifter. She gets out there, and in the world of Hollywood, she's a game show hostess in a short skirt to get a gig. Then she gets suits. You know, she marries a guy that can help her in her career. That's exactly it. She's a survivor.
But Harry's never had to worry about anything. He hasn't had to think, oh, actually, if I join the army, is that going to be a career for life? Is that going to sustain me? Is that going to pay my mortgage in the future? He doesn't care about cash. He doesn't understand what it's like to be poor. So now these two are at each other's throats because she is thinking, we've only got 15 million quid left in the bank. That's not enough.
You got it.
Now, to me, 15 million quid left in the bank would be more than enough for me to live for the rest of my life. Yeah. Why don't they just downsize? I don't understand how they're struggling. Sell that Montecito Palace, move into a nice little condo down on Miami Beach, penthouse, buy it out right for 2 million quid.
Describing your perfect life here, JJ. Does Mrs. JJ know about this secret plan? You've given us a bit too much thought, haven't you?
But it doesn't make any
sense. Is Mrs. JJ in the penthouse with you?
Of course she is. But it doesn't make any sense for Harry and Meghan to be in the situation where they're at each other's throats over money when they have more money than most people can ever dream of.
Bingo. You are absolutely right. So why are they not downsizing? Because of Meghan's massive ego. And this is the appalling and tragic paradox at the heart of this relationship. Meghan understands money and is aware of it. And she's the more entrepreneurial of the two, the more financially proactive. The problem with her is she's got expensive taste. And she wants to have a house that sends a message about who she is and where she is at within the kind of showbiz Hollywood elite. Okay. So you have to understand, and you know that you spent time in LA, you got to have a big house.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was a top UK TV producer. He sold his company for an absolute fortune and decided, I'm just going to go to America and I'm going to make TV shows and I'm going to make movies in America. Very, very clever guy. And he rents the biggest house he can find. He just called the real estate person, the realtor, and he said, well, what is I don't care how much it is, give me the biggest house in Hollywood. And it was some absurd amount that he was paying every month. But the reason why is because then when he has meetings, he will say to producers and investors and actors and top directors, you know, Mr. Spielberg, come to my house, we'll have a meeting. And they see the house and they're like, wow, this guy's a player. And so that is how it works in LA.
Okay.
You know, so your house represents, you know, in some societies, it's your car.
Okay.
You'll get people maybe with quite a humble house or apartment, but they're driving like a Mercedes Benz because that's their public image. So that's times 100 in California. So Meghan feels that she needs this house. It's a flex. Don't forget that, she sort of is part of the imagery of her TV show. I mean, that was, of course, a separate house, but it was similar. So that's why she's, on the one hand, more enterprising than Harry. But the biggest problem is that she won't downsize because she wants to live the dream. She wants to become a huge star. She wants to be a massive royal and she wants to be a massive star. And that's Harry. The flip side is Harry is not entrepreneurial, doesn't know how to make money, which most of the royals don't. It's not in their DNA. But funnily enough, Harry would be happy to downsize. He'd be quite happy in your Miami condo. And in fact, Harry's dream would be a dusty rural estate. In Wyoming or something. Out in the sticks, just with a big chunk of land and have horses and chickens and do a bit of hunting, drink a beer in the evening. So Harry would happily live within his means, but Meghan doesn't want it. And that's why, and you will never square that circle. Meghan's career ambitions versus the cash flow.
Is it possible that Harry could just go to Daddy and say, Papa, I need a couple million quid just to pay the rent this month? You think that's going to happen?
All day long.
So
you've once again, JJ, you are on a hot streak. Which I don't think is based on your talents. I think you are lucky. A broken clock is right twice a day. We've been waiting, and may Lord have mercy on us, he finally got something right. And 100%. That is exactly it. When you say, how do you square that circle? That, Harry would downsize, but she won't, but there's no money. King Charles, ka-ching, ka-ching. And that's why both of them are united by a need and a desire to get back to England and to get back to royal circles for different reasons. Meghan understands that she needs to recalibrate her royal credentials so she can be Duchess Meghan again. And Harry needs to go to his dad and get some money. And Charles needs to write a big check to bail them out. Now, it ain't going to happen next week or next month or even next year. But I don't think, I'd love to know what our viewers think, but I don't think Charles could be seen to let Harry go bankrupt. Imagine Chapter 11. Think of the humiliation. And of course, the Sussexes would love it because that would play into the victim narrative. They let us go under.
I'm basically homeless now thanks to my pa. He's got like 10 houses in England, but I'm sleeping rough in a tent in Wyoming. Actually, no, it's got worse than that. I'm staying with JJ Anisiobi at his stud pad in Miami. And it's really odd because he said that his wife was going to be part of it, but she's never there. There are other women, but they're apparently they're staff. I've never seen them work.
But that is it. He's going to go back to Dad for some cash. You nailed it.
Right, a quick pause in the podcast to tell you about our sponsor, Incogni. You had those phone calls from numbers you don't recognise, or you go in your inbox and there's emails for stuff you did not sign up for. Well, that's because someone somewhere is selling your private information. That's where today's sponsor comes in, Incogni. They will contact these people who have been taking your information and they'll say, oi, stop, delete it. Go to the website, incogni.com, you type in the details, 2 minutes later, Incogni are sorting it out for you automatically. And because I love you, I've got you a discount. It ain't 10%, it ain't 20, 60% off. 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Just go to incogni.com/Daily Expresso or click the link in the episode description box below. Well, easy, because House of Windsor is facing an audit this summer. They're going to be looking into all of their properties, their little property empire, all the arrangements they have, not having to pay proper rent on things and all this stuff.
Oh, it's a scandal, isn't it? Don't you think, as a British taxpayer, are you not angered by this?
I am angered by it. I am very angered by it. But apparently, Harry and Meghan's people are saying that Harry and Meghan are quite happy about this. And they're saying that
they are.
The royal family should be scrutinised more because Harry and Meghan are out earning their own wage, making their own way in life. No one's subsidising them. unless they go back to crawling to daddy. But
Yeah.
the royal family are going to be facing it this summer.
Harry and Meghan are loving this. So this is concerns about how much members of the royal family pay for their accommodation. And the term that's been used is peppercorn rent, which is kind of a nominal fee, which is non-market rate. So you're getting this massive mansion for a few $1,000s a month rather than hundreds of thousands. So I think the whole thing stinks. And yes, we're going to be, pretty harsh on Harry and Meghan if they're guilty of double standards and hypocrisy, but the royal family should be no different. And if they're on the make and if they're exploiting the taxpayer, I mean, for example, so many royal properties take a massive rent from charities and from the National Health Service and other public institutions. It's not a good look. Now, it's my understanding that William's aware of this, and it's one of the big things is that he wants to be a very consequential king, and he's going to be about change. He said on that excellent Apple TV show with Eugene Levy, change is on my agenda. What's interesting with him is he's selling off part of the Duchy of Cornwall estate. Have you heard about that?
No, I've not heard about that.
This is massive. So the Duchy of Cornwall estate is a massive royal estate. It provides the private income of the Prince of Wales. And he's going to sell a big chunk of it. That's going to bring in £500 million.
Wow.
And that's going to go to low-cost housing for homeless people and also regenerative farming and other excellent philanthropic projects. So it's a great, great thing that he's doing. So quite clearly, William is in the mood to modernize the monarchy and to get rid of these bad headlines. Yeah. William doesn't want Prince Edward living in a massive castle for 11p a month. And he thinks it's crazy that they've been like this for so long. Of course, it was William who was very concerned when the Queen wrote a check to silence Virginia Giuffre in 2000 to the tune of, what, $15 million?
Yeah.
At that point, it's my understanding, William was saying to his father and to his grandmother, why is this guy still Prince Andrew? So anyway, the bottom line is that, they have a case to answer, and at the moment it's not looking good. And I feel like the king, who's a very nice man, very benevolent, but he's a rabbit in the headlights. He doesn't know how to handle this story about the royal estate and about the fact that they're making money from charities and stuff. So, that's a difficult one.
Well, whilst we carry on discussing this, let me just speak to the viewers directly. If you're enjoying this episode, hopefully you are. I'm not enjoying it, to be honest, but I'm paid to be here, so I'll just do it. If you are enjoying it, hit the subscribe button, please. Lots of you are watching this episode. You watch all the episodes, and most of you people aren't even subscribed. You're missing out on so much. So hit subscribe right now, like and share as well, and comments. Tell me what you think about Mark and his crazy hair. Marky Mark.
It does need work. So listen, when you move to Miami, are we going to do the show from there?
I've got a room.
From the balcony.
From the balcony. If Harry and Meghan are, as I say, this is just sources from their camp saying they're very happy that the royal family are going to be audited, we should also look at then the Invictus Games, because part of their funding...
OMG.
They're coming to the UK next year for the Invictus Games, right? They're going to launch it this year, but it doesn't actually kick off properly till next year. Our government, you and I, the viewers, taxpayers in Britain, are paying money towards the Invictus Games to happen. So maybe we should be looking into that as well and saying, well, is it really worth it, pound for pound, to put on this big show?
Invictus is dying a slow death. And Invictus is the only positive in Harry's life. Scented barley, he's lost control of it. Hot mess. African parks that we're going to come to. Shocking allegations. Hot mess. Archwell Philanthropies, shuttered. Key members of staff, quit or fired. All he's got is Invictus, and it's a sinking ship. And I say that with no pleasure because it's a great idea. And could we have any higher regard for our military?
No, of course.
Never.
No.
There is no... everyone's equal. But on my Talk TV show, if somebody calls in or if I have a guest that's ex-military, I always say, I want to thank you for your service to this country, because it's a unique job. You put yourself in harm's way for freedom, for the territorial boundaries of the country. So my respect for the military is unlimited, which is why I will begrudgingly offer a note of respect to Harry for having served in the military too. But Invictus has ceased to be about those injured veterans that are participating in sport at the highest level.
Yeah.
It's the Harry and Meghan show. And they're furious about it because you've got ex-veterans who have PTSD from a war setting. they've got mental health issues, bipolar, and then, of course, some of them are missing limbs, they have chronic pain, all from their time in the forces. And yet, what do we discuss? Meghan's outfit or Harry's angry opening speech in which he makes a coded attack on the President of the United States. It's all about them. So Invictus, but that's before, as you say, we get to the money. That's just the optics of Invictus. What about the money? Boeing, one of the biggest brands that were on board, they have run for the hills. They're gone. Other key sponsors, they have a fraction of the sponsors for next year that they had for Canada last year. So that's going to be a problem. And the other issue is that it costs over $100,000 per participant to run the games, which is all well and good. But the public are thinking, especially as you said, the British taxpayer who are supporting this, could we not buy some wheelchairs for these veterans? Maybe devices in the house that make it easier to get up and down the stairs. What about physiotherapy or counseling? Any of these things. It all costs money. But it seems that this vanity project is going to hoover up all the cash. And I think it's a big problem.
I think it is. But you just touched on the African parks as well. Tell me what's going on there.
Oh, my goodness.
What happened?
Yikes.
Explain, because I'm sure some of our viewers and listeners are not going to be across this story.
Well, again, on paper, it's a very good charity. And I don't think, it's the same with Invictus. I don't think that anything we say today should impact people's contributions to Invictus, because at the heart of it is injured service personnel. So I shouldn't wish for anything that we say to cause sponsors or the public not to chip in. It's not that bad. Same with African Parks. They do amazing work. But you've got a major pressure group who are saying to Harry, you must step down from the board, because there are rangers who are on the payroll of African Parks who are abusing tribes in Africa. And we're talking about egregious crimes here, allegations that you can't discuss in detail on a family show. But it's in that sphere of violence and sexual assault.
Well, they've admitted to human rights abuses. The African Parks have admitted to human rights abuses that their people have committed.
Correct.
And yet
They had a big inquiry.
Yeah.
They had a mother's meeting about it.
Well, why
They
is
discussed it over a cup of tea.
why is Harry still on the board? He used to be president of the parks.
He was the president of it.
He was El Presidente, and now he's on the board.
Oh yeah, old Harry Midas touch Windsor.
Well, why won't
Another
he?
one bites the dust.
Why won't he quit?
He's stubborn. He's got nothing else. I mean, if Invictus disappears, which I think if it runs out of money, it will. You may only see one more games, and that could be next year. If he loses African Parks, he's lost Sentebale, which was a charity he was very passionate about until he met Meghan. So I had Angela Levin on my Talk TV show. You know Angela.
Yes, we've crossed paths before.
Like your good self, she's a legendary journalist, and she's a very nice lady, and she knows Harry so well. She spent 15 months with him when he was young and when he was popular, when he was nice. And she said that actually he was very committed to his charity work until Meghan, then he completely lost interest. So in the end, the way it looks is that this charity stuff for Harry now, it is just optics. It is just for his brand, because he doesn't really walk the walk. For example, Sentebale, he went to Lesotho, where it's based, about 3 times in 6 years. Now, a man of his means, you could manage a few more trips than that, couldn't you? And it's also a very nice place to visit. And it's the same thing with African Parks. You know, how involved is he? Well, he stays on the board. And yes, it's incalculable and mind-boggling that he won't stand down. There are some very big people involved in African Parks, including Warren Buffett's brother, who's another billionaire. And they've actually had a fundraising that Harry attended just a few weeks ago, where they're trying to raise $1 billion. So let's offer a degree of balance here. You know, there are lots of powerful, well-meaning people who consider African Parks to be brilliant and critically good at what it does. But I can't think, JJ, of another celebrity on the planet that would remain on the board of an organization that stands accused of allowing people from tribes to suffer wild physical and emotional abuse.
Well, what
Would
strikes
Clooney stay on the board?
Absolutely.
Gwyneth Paltrow,
I
Oprah?
doubt it. But this is what strikes me as strange, is we rightly call out Harry's uncle, Andrew, the former prince, and say, why were you friends with a convicted and known paedophile?
Correct.
Everyone knew Epstein was a paedophile. You knew he was a paedophile, and you stayed being friends with him. Harry knows what African parks have been accused of. Harry knows what African parks have admitted to human rights abuses in the past, and he is still staying on the board, knowing that his own rangers have said, yeah, we did do some of this stuff that people are saying we did. Yeah, but we apologise.
In a word, desperation. You know, it's a gig for Harry. It's a grift. So what's he going to do? You know, give that up. No Centre Barley, no Archwell, no Invictus. He's going to sit at home watching inappropriate 90s comedies when Meghan's not there. Hoovering down Wendy burgers by the dozen. Baconator in particular is his favourite. Playing swing ball in the garden. Collecting the kids from school. That's it. What else? What is Harry for? And I say that with no pleasure because this was once a dynamic and popular figure. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because someone asked me last night whether Harry should have stayed in the military. And I'm thinking absolutely. Because he's somebody that I think enjoyed the structure and camaraderie of the military. Yeah. I think it was just right for him. And he has that in common with Andrew, who probably should have stayed in the Navy. Yeah. These men who don't have a purpose, who are aristocrats, who know nothing about making money, they're well suited to an institutional structure.
Now, do you want to watch the rest of this show completely unfiltered? Hit the link below for just $2.99 a month, less than the price of an espresso. You'll get exclusive content from Marky Mark and me, plus hard-hitting investigations into the royal family, into Labour, grooming gangs, and everything in between. If you leave a comment on our first video, you may even win an espresso mug. Help us keep the lights on and the truth flowing. Subscribe today. Right, Marky Mark, we'll call it a day there, mate.
Loved it.
I hope you liked it
Thank
too.
you for having us, folks.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.